All right, guys, we're recording now. Hope you guys had a great week. For me, it was very opening. I tried different strategies like swinging more. I'm trying to scale up my trading. So and trying to over the past couple weekends, like on Memorial Weekend, I was watching several videos, studying on upon new swing strategies and just being more patient and letting not letting the money or like my P&L control me. Instead, I look at the chart and see what it's telling me, and then adjust upon that. So I've been more being doing more of that and trying to scale up my trading, and it's definitely working. So on Monday, well, actually, I'll go over one of my the best trades that I recognize or I played. So if you guys look on WPG. So let's um, let's go back to where I got in. I want to show you guys where I got in, my thought process, going forward into the trade. So this was in on Tuesday on June 8th. So I'm gonna zoom back. I'm gonna increase time frame here. So 60 minutes right here, and as you guys can see, I'm gonna switch to daily right here too. Daily chart. Uh, Change the indicators real quick. So so right here. So the most important thing is I always go towards the biggest time frame first. So on the daily, I think daily is very important to judge how far a stock can go or its potential. So if you look right here, remember guys, I mentioned about NOVN opening above or at the 100 EMA daily, which is the red line right here. So if you guys see this red line, this is the 100 EMA. Um, and you guys can use the same indicators like I do. I use the let's see. So I use the 100. I mean no. Let's see. Okay, so 100, 150, and I use the 200, as well as the 10, 20, and 50 EMAs. So if you look on WPG, I'm gonna zoom a little bit more closer. It was on this day. This is when I started my position right here. So it was just above. It closed just above the 200. I mean, not the 200. The 100 EMA on the daily, and that that in it itself indicates a strong buy or a strong swing um, to hold and definitely look for next leg up towards $7. And that's exactly what happened. And now looking closer, now that I have the daily confirmed, and it looks great, uh, I go to the my intraday chart right here, and I go first see the 60 minutes, and I see like okay, I kind of see like it's kind of I had this big push up, like this day right here had a big push, um, on very nice volume and just consolidated for about a week. So I let this thing consolidate, and setting up. So I let it set up. It's getting tighter. The range is getting tighter and tighter right here. So, and on this day, I was like, okay, this thing should definitely get ready to go soon. Um, so on this day, on June 8th, which is on this candle, I want to zoom in and just show you guys where exactly I got in and what I thought. So right here, I didn't get in. I wanted to get in these dips, but I think I was in another position, so I couldn't really get in. Um, and let's see, I don't know why it keeps going back. So, so right here, um, so I saw this like this triangle pattern right here. It keeps holding this these the mid four $4 range. So I recognize this nice push, and kind of just kind of stay steady right here. And when I saw this push right here, I didn't get in right here, but I let this push, let it do its thing, and just to want to see it consolidate a little bit more, to just to give extra confirmation if it could actually, hold. So if you guys can see this yellow line right here, this yellow dotted line, um, this is was the previous breakout on this day right here. So as you guys can see, it definitely broken out on volume. And I didn't want to chase up here, like even though I had the right idea. I always fight for price and look for a good entry. I don't want to get up here, FOMOing. Okay, this thing is definitely gonna go tomorrow, but I don't want to. I'm going to be risking down here. I don't want to be risking that much. 40, 50 cents a share. Definitely not. Um, so I'd rather let this thing go than me chasing it and risking it. From near the lows. So yeah, sometimes it's hard for us traders, to really get in. We FOMO, and then end up getting stopped out. That's one hard thing I had to overcome in the beginning. But I just as time passed, I just had to learn and definitely change my habits. So yep, just being patient. See, okay, great. It goes down, and it goes back to this previous breakout, which is now support. It holds it, comes up a little bit, and it goes back down. I'm like, okay, we have about 30 minutes till the close. I'm gonna start the entry. So this is when it confirmed this low right here and it started coming back up a little bit. I started adding right here, around the 490, 495. In between there, I think my average was 493. That was my average. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. I'm gonna show you guys exactly where I got in. So right here, I got in right here. Where's my crosshair? Okay, so right here, 493. So I added right here, um, and it did go up, but it went back down. But remember, I was in the 490s, risking basically this previous low, which was around 480s. So about 10, 15 cents. I wasn't worried about this thing going back down, if at all. I anticipate people buying this up because they see the potential. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm not gonna let little intraday pullbacks scare me out. So I had remember before I got in, I had my risk, which was in the 480s. This pullback, it didn't really go down to the 480s, and it definitely did not close under it. It definitely bounced right back up. So I was good. I was just chilling. Um, So right here, definitely came back up, and it moved after hours. So and that gave me really good confidence that this thing has could definitely move tomorrow after hours, and it did. It definitely moved, and it came right back down. So same thing again. I was in the 490s. I was still chilling. My risk was in the 480s. If this thing broke under 480s, then most likely I'll be stopping out. But I was we as this thing went up, I knew $5 was support even if this didn't go down, and it did go down. It did go down. I actually added on the way down right here. I think my first ads were I saw this really nice dip, and I said, okay, this thing most likely it's gonna bounce. It started to fade a little bit in the morning, and okay, great. It's consolidating, holding this 5 level in the low fives. So I added right here more. I think my first ads were in the 530s, and then I added more down here. Um, and then it just came right back up, and then dipped back down to VWAP, healthy pullback, comes right back up, and you know midday. This is midday. As she's going down midday, I don't really expect much because it's lunch hours. so the volume is usually lower, and people are probably already done trading, or they're not looking at it. But when the time comes when when it nears closing hours, um people start go back in the chairs and see, oh, what's looking good, oh, WPG on the daily looking really nice. um so remember, this is the next days, which is on this candle. They previously had a great close above the 100 EMA. So I wasn't too worried about it. If at least this thing will break over six and see $7. It definitely did and went over six. Um, Dipped, came right back up. And then I had sold some. My target was $7, but I was planning to hold, bulk of my position, towards 8 and possibly $10 the next couple of days. In this case, it didn't really do that. I did sell some in the sevens, but I still had the majority of my shares. So it did, go down a little bit. It was, hanging around just under $7. It was looking great, but it did actually fade. It really had a really ugly, ugly, sell off in the morning, and I was like, okay, I started scaling out down here after it broke 650s. I sold pretty low. I was still holding. I think I don't exactly remember why I sold, but it was pretty low. It was pretty low. I think over here, just like under, I think 580s or 560s. I think I sold. Because it just kept going down. And look what it did. It just went all the way back down. So good thing I had sold. I was kind of bummed that I didn't sell most, up here near $7. I was up, a good 60, $70,000. But only ended up, with only 17, I think $17,000 in gains. And remember, I also sold over here on this push. So, in total, I made around 30,000 bucks on this. Nonetheless, it was a great setup. I played it and capitalized on it. So, and just next time, I have to, really get good with selling early when it looks, pretty bad. But nonetheless, it was a great setup, great swing setup. And, I'll take this trade, 10, every single time when it shows, when the opportunity comes. So, let's see. Also, guys, if you guys have any questions, comments you want to say, ask me, or questions you have for me, just go in the chat, type it up, and while I'm explaining things, I could answer your questions. All right, Louis trades. Yeah, definitely. You have samples. I definitely want to study more. Um, yeah, definitely. Send them over. Oh yeah, LKCO was another one. Actually, I also started my swing in LKCO right here in the 150s, under 155. So yeah, definitely is definitely looking good, and should break twos very soon if volume and strength starts coming in. I think this thing can get back towards three, maybe $4. And once it's over, $4, I mean, this thing has a lot of room to go towards five and potentially $10. This thing is definitely looking great. Now I don't want to say, I'm not saying it's gonna go 10 or $5. I'm just saying it has potential. But at the moment, right now, it's looking decent. Maybe right here. Now, if you're buying it like in like $2, it's a little bit it's a little iffy, because that's resistance. But I would definitely, when it hits two, wait a little bit and see what it does, because sometimes it can hit resistance and they come right back down. So definitely, I do, this pattern is great. I see the setup. Now is it as good as WPG? Maybe not, but I definitely do see the setup. So it's looking great. So yeah, 147. That's a great entry. Yeah, definitely great. That's definitely a really good entry. And if this thing gets over two, there's a good chance that it'll see $3. I heard some things about LKCO. They said they have something with Microsoft or something like that. I mean, I don't really care about that. I just care about these setups, and that's what matters. So yeah, yeah, I definitely noticed that it has a similar chart as AMC. So I mean, yeah, if you look here, it looks very similar. So for Rita, the main thing with LKCO, it has a similar thing with LKCL, except LKCO was definitely trades lighter or less dollar in dollar well the in dollar volume. So, but yeah, LKCO is great. It looks very similar to or similar to AMC. And I'm looking to add more into LKCO if I do see some nice push over two. I might consider adding after a week or two of consolidation. But I want to see what it does first. I have a position in the 150, so I'm just seeing what it does. Um, and I'm looking to scale just a little bit out at $2 because sometimes if you guys look, it goes consolidates, comes right back down. So I'm going to be scaling out near $2 just in case, just some small size just in case it goes right back down. So because that's what LKCO kind of does right here, kind of goes, comes right back down after about a couple weeks, comes right back up, comes down, but it's making lower or higher lows. So if this thing does the same thing as the previous sessions, it might dip back maybe in the 140s, 130s maybe. But 140s it might go back towards 180 and come back down around 140s and then finally break out. So you definitely need some patience with this on the AKCO. So, but let's see, let's see. um, all right, so I'm gonna go over my my really big trades this week. Um, actually, let me do the math real quick and how much I'm up this week. I keep forgetting to do this. Hold on. Yesterday, or actually on Thursday, on Thursday was a big day for me. We had 1,000% runner on O OHRP, I think. I keep getting those letters mixed up, but that was a 1,000% runner. That thing halted over 10 times. I also made a blog about it. And stocks I played with it too. So, go on my website. www. Well, just type in ninjatrading.com. My website should pop up. Go to blogs, and you should see a couple blogs over there. So yes, FM Wizards. Yes, this stream is saved. So if you have to go or you want to watch it again, it'll be uploaded on YouTube, so you guys can see it. All right, let's do my quick math right now. So Monday, I was red, $3,200. Tuesday, I was up just under 30,000. So 456 uh, plus 127. All right, so on this week I'm up 181,781 and 20 cents or somewhere around like that. So around 180 grand on this week. Um, that was the big winner was on. So I'm gonna show you guys what happened on ORJP, or was it OR? No, OHRP. ORPH. ORPH. I know. Okay, there we go. So right here. Okay, right here, right here. So look at this. I mean, this is insane. I mean, like it just starts off like at. I mean, look at the volume. There's literally no volume, nothing. I also there wasn't really any clear news, but I was hearing that they had some some big thing on like their medication or something. They got I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I forgot. But the main point is, the big run. It started in the fives, halted, and just keeps going. Like over here, you thought this was gonna be over. It comes back down and just comes right back up. Wow. I mean, look at this. This is insane. And well, it halted back down all the way back, you know, to, basically where it almost started at. So this is the thing. So I was hearing this on this, I was seeing this on my scans. OH chart, OR, pH, whatever, it just keeps going up. I'm like, okay, one thing. Uh, so my big winner came from a sympathy. This is where the sympathies shine, really, really shine. And when you see 1,000% runner, that's when you start looking for sympathies. The past in a couple of months, there is some decent runners that went 100, 200, 300%, but the sympathies didn't really, really go. I mean, the only sympathies that we had like were Leads, Mosey. Those are multi-day sympathies. Um, but this one was like a single day. I mean, this thing, and I went to Finviz. I saw this on GLTO. I think I had ads right here in the 520s, 530s. Um, and I sold some for a profit. It wasn't really doing much. The level two and the price action was very, very funky. Um, yeah, it was very weird. Um, and then this thing goes. I'm like, okay. Um, and right here is when I added a lot of size. So when all so as this thing was dipping down, OHRP was still halted on the way up, right? It was still halted. Or I think it was halted down, but then if it went back up, that was the key. So yeah, so it was dipping down, and once OHRP unhalted, I think I had a little dip, and then it came right back up, and it halted again. So right when it did that, when I thought it was gonna be halting, I just slammed the ask however much shares I wanted to buy, all in this thing, and it definitely went. It halted. I held through everything through this halt. I'm like, okay, this thing could definitely see $8. I mean, I'm looking for eight. I'm looking for eight, and I know this thing could definitely go to 10. But I don't want to be stuck in like T12 or something like that. So, um, you know, and it did dip. It dipped. Um, I think OHRP was also halted at the same time too. It was still halted. Oh well, I think it was going down or something like that. But yeah, I still held through this thing until my position. I was like, okay, now I need this thing to go over eight. This thing has a lot of potential. I mean, this is great sympathy play. If you guys go to my blog on how I played it, you know, my target was eight. So and I didn't want to be greedy. So and well, I definitely would have been up much more, much more. But I sold the rest over here. Um, and that was it. That's pretty much it. Um, OHRP actually halted down right here, I think. So this also halted down, but then when it opened like right where, well, it was basically at where it closed, came right back up and halted again. And this thing's definitely going to 10. Um, so, and the main reason why I played this was, the daily chart was very, very oversold. What's wrong with my trade zero? Oversold. If you guys look on the daily, I mean, it's just been selling off for the past, you know, past. I mean, basically the entire time when it when it first IPO'd. So this thing, I could definitely see a really big candle, up in the 15s. I can definitely see that. Um, especially when we see 1,000% runner. You know, so yeah, so definitely I capitalized on this. I made you know this is a 100K trade right here. Could have been much more, but just want to take it. Remember, there's always new opportunities, and especially when we see 1,000% runner. There's gonna be at least another runner that's gonna run out, halt multiple times and possibly go 500%. I don't think it will go to 1,000%, but there's gonna be some big runners, hopefully, coming in the next week. So I'm prepared. And my sympathy strategy is gonna be on point next week, in case anything goes up really crazy. So yeah, that was a big trade. Let's see. Let's see. What's your YouTube? My YouTube. If you guys go to my profile or my Twitch, there should be a link over there for my YouTube. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Let's see. No, it says Twitter and Instagram. Hmm. All right. It's let me show my YouTube on the stream so you guys can check it out. I'll have to add that to my stream. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, guys. If you definitely go read check out my website. I just made it like a couple weeks ago. Um, I spent a lot of time on it, so please check out. I got some nice blogs over there. You can learn something from it. I go over some runners. I also go over some of my strategies, my top strategies I go over. So go give it a read. You definitely learn something. So, do you guys any questions for me? I just went over like the big trades or my best trades. How do I come with the watch list? For the watch list, well, I look at my right when I wake up, I look at my pre-market scans and see what's up, and based on like the volume or market cap or the price of the stock, I kind of like, okay, see, like, first I think, okay, what ran, previously? What ran previously? Okay, now is there anything today in the pre-market scans that could or might be setting up just like those runners before? And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for runners that have this like similar DNA to the previous runners that I have seen, within the past, few weeks or or a couple weeks. That's what I'm looking for. So I don't just always look for low floats, only I look for what's running and what's the trend, you know. If I haven't seen, if I just see like one China stock going and nothing else, um, or like sometimes during the day we see some like random stocks just popping up for no reason. Most likely it's either like very speculative. It's very speculative, very risky. Sometimes they could just be pure pumps, So I just let it go. Is there news? No. Why is this running? Oh, the daily chart looks horrible. Oh, it's just no, I'm not gonna touch it or gonna watch it. Unless it goes like crazy like like ORPH. Oh yeah, definitely. I'll look. Definitely be interested. That's when I'm gonna be interested. But if it just pop and then just comes right back down, you know, I'm not gonna be watching that. I go off. My watch list comes from previous runners and see if if they have similar DNA. How do you feel sending triangles compared to pennants, wedges? So with triangles and pennants and wedges, they all have like a similar shape, right? They're all triangles, but like just different, right? You learn this in math, um, or geometry. um, with the simple thing is this, with these patterns, you can easily judge risk and reward. That's key. Okay, that's key. They all do the same thing. Um, but one thing is different is you know you can easily judge your risk and reward. So, and they might not always continue, you know? Sometimes this pattern works more than that. If you guys look on this one trade this is a great example. What was that one trade I made? I think it was APST or something like that, or ASPT. No, hold on, what was that trade? All right, see you later, Mr. Wizards. Definitely watch it later. Thank you for coming on. Okay, Louis trades. Yes, APTX. Oh man. See, even he remembers. Not me. Oh my goodness. Was it APTX? No, it's not APTX. No, it was. Just wrong day. All right, here it is. So I also go over this pattern. Chris. I know you read it before, but this I want to show this to everyone. This is an amazing, amazing setup right here. Amazing. This is one of my tap patterns. I love it. If I see this, because look, I see this pushing up, right? The first push goes back. We see a nice pullback and goes right back up, right? I don't buy up here, right? People sometimes might FOMO and say, "Oh, well, this thing is about to break up." You know, I I don't I just let this thing I just say, okay, if this thing is gonna make a double top right here, most likely, okay, now I see something. Now I'm interested. Now I want this to pull back, down right here, and see. Now this is now forming a big dog, or what that's what I call. That's what I call or pennant or triangle pattern or wedge, um, whatever you want to call it. This is one of my top. Is also around VWAP. So my first ads were right here, like around 397 in the 390s, and then those are my first scales. So I scaled some in the 390s, and just want to get a feel for it. Just want to get a feel for it, right? I want to be in it. Okay, I don't want to be sitting out and just let this thing go, or I want to be in it at least, right? So I had some first scales right here, a couple, a few thousand shares. And then I see this thing go. It looks like it's about to break back over VWAP. So I add a little bit more on this break. Um, and my risk is basically this low right here, or this trend line. If it breaks under this trend line, I'm fine with it. The key thing is, will it close above or below the trend line? That's the key. Just because it breaks below it, it doesn't mean I'm going to be out. I want to see confirmation that if it's actually a real pullback or weakness. If it closes under it, then I'm out. Then it's getting weak. But if it just goes down and just comes right back up and then it closes, well, then I just got stopped out for no reason. So, but in this case, it definitely held really well, just like before right here. So, and then as this thing went up to like towards 420s, I scaled some out right here on this upper trend line just in case, just take some profits. And I'll always look to re-add, comes back down, and it comes right back up. That's when I'm like, okay, this thing looks like she is ready very soon. I added right here in a more on this breakout. I held the rest right here. It looked like it was having some trouble here for some reason. So I scaled just a bit out right here just in case. Comes right back down. Um, and zoom in my other charts right here. So right here, this is when I added even more right here. I see this nice push on volume. I'm like, okay, this thing is about to go. About to break high day. So I added more in here, full position. And, scaled the rest 440s, some at 450s. And I see this dip. Like, okay, that's normal. But mind you, this is midday. So, um, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing tried to go and dips right back down, which it did. I tried some a little bit more right here, under four in the 450s. Well, it didn't quite break 460s. I actually had some scales 460s because it couldn't break it really. It did break it, but no bids like tried to keep it up over 460. So that's when I just got sold the rest right away. And right here just fades and just fades, which is a sad part. You wouldn't for these trades, I like to trade the first 2 hours during the day. That's when you want to. There's a very good chance that you're going to catch some sort of move during the front side. You never want to be caught during the back side. Yes, this thing broke out. Yes, it looks great for a $5 push, but when it doesn't, you should just get out. You definitely don't want to be caught into this, massive fade. You know, so who knows? You might not never be able to get out. So always know your risk and reward. Hey Isaac, I see the patterns and good setups, but I put a stop loss too early. You said you have said before that you put your stop loss on the first higher on the last higher low. Have you had that issue where you didn't? Well, I don't put stop losses. I have mental stop losses. I never put like a physical stop loss. Um, like only if I really need to, like if I'm like not at my setup. But when you're on the computers, I would never use a stop loss. I would use a just a mental stop, just basically just telling yourself, okay, I'll stop out at this price, or because sometimes they just fakes you out, or they just trying to get your shares. And you stopped out. Let's see. Have you ever issue where you didn't put the stop loss on the previous higher low? So, to answer your question, I don't put stop losses. I use it, I just use my mental. I just put mental stop losses, not actual stop losses, putting an order out. So, um, I hope that answers your question. Stopped all the meds. Let's look at LEDs. I meant meds, LEDs. Stop meds before it started to go up on Thursday. Where is if I stayed and used the previous high low as my stop loss, I would have made this gain. Let's look at this. Oops. So on Thursday, so Wednesday, Thursday, right here. So I assumed you played it right here. Um, or somewhere right, around this triangle right here. Um, yeah, with meds is a little bit tough. With a lot of eh, with a lot of volume, it took a very quite a long time to actually this thing to break out. You definitely have to be patient and really know where your support is and know where important levels of price. It was very very important. So um personally I did not play this because it just was a little bit too choppy. I mean, the pattern was there. I could definitely see that. Let's see. Let's try to make a pattern out of this. Oops. So just do this. Yeah, this is a very this is very tight right here. Yeah, this is very tight right here. If you can see, so like something like this. If you, I don't know if you what helps for me is I always draw it out, draw the triangle and try to just to connect the dots as much as possible. And as long as it stays within this triangle, you're good. You're good. Yes, you'll be risking this previous low, but as long as it stays within this triangle, you shouldn't be worried, and you should have an easier way or more confidence basically, and not letting this price action stop you out. Maybe I'm not sure exactly where when near that huge red candle, you played it right after that red candle. Okay, so definitely I would draw this. I don't know if you had it drawn, but it definitely helps because when you do draw this, I mean, I don't know. I assume you got stopped out here or maybe here. Um, and if you look over here, maybe you were playing on this setup. I think right here near that. Like you played right after, so I'm not sure. Maybe you got in the dips right here. Um, but the same. It's the same thing, right? If you make a triangle, um, the larger the better, right? If you just make a triangle on just this right here, it's just basically a flag or mini flag. This is for more intraday scalpers or quick get in and out. But for like the really big, if you want really big moves, the longer the better. So, and like we saw on some other names like in APTX, I had consolidated all day. So this triangle, right? It dipped and well, it held. This is where you want to see the level two. If you see a lot of bidders just coming up and trying to buy this up, okay, great. It's definitely gonna hold, and maybe we'll have an entry right here, just under 650. You also didn't have my lines drawn, but I guess mentally I stopped out too early. Yeah. Now I'm not sure. Also size comes in. If you got in like really big or all in, maybe that was the case. Like, oh, it went back down, and you had a oh shit moment, right? You want to scale in first, scale in, and then because maybe your max position size is 10,000 shares, right? Or that's how much you can buy at most. Maybe just getting like 1 or 2,000 shares on these dips right here, and then let it dip and see what it does on this triangle low right here on this lower trend line. See what it does, and it comes right back up. Great, you can add more. That's confirmation you can add more. So yes, getting in dips is great, but you never know if it's actually dip or it's actually pure weakness. On this big candle, it definitely looks weak on this big candle. Um, so definitely just start scaling in and let it dip, just kind of see what it does around this lower trend line, and if it looks to be strong, add more. That's what I did on my APTX trade. I got in the dips. It was kind of looking, it's just going sideways a little bit, but I wasn't too worried about that. I was just waiting for it. Was waiting for it, being patient and letting the chart do it. Do the work instead of my mind doing the work. And I don't even trust my mind, so I let the chart do the work, and then if it confirms, I'll add more. If it doesn't, I'll stop out. Small loss. Let's see. I hope that helps, Mr. Isaac. When you say the daily is looking terrible, could you go a little more in detail, defining criteria? All right. So when I go over my swing on WPG, this is daily. What it looks like, right? Daily. Do you see these EMAs right here? Um, and it's also forming like a nice flag, or tight setup right here after a week of consolidation. Okay, and look at all the EMAs, look at all the lines. It's basically above all of them, right? And on this day right here on the 8th, or about at least on this day right here, um, it it closed above this 100 EMA. So it was above all the EMAs, 8, 1, 8, no, not the 8, 10, 20, 50, 200. Uh, it was basically above everything except this 100 EMA, and definitely closed above it. So look, and once it's over it, there's no lines. This makes a great daily chart setup. Okay. Now if you go over here and play it right here, I mean, like, I don't. There's no setup over here. I mean, you're basically playing against resistance right here. You're basically betting on the bounce, and you're playing against resistance. Look at all these lines. Look at all these webs. You definitely don't want to go through that. You want to go through when when it's above the webs. When there are no webs above you, you want those. That's a good setup, or a really really good setup. Um, Maybe let's see. Let's try I don't know, GBS. So let me drink some water real quick. All right, back to business. Over here, GBS, right? It didn't close above this 50 EMA daily, but once it's above it, I mean, the only resistance is basically next resistance is this 100 EMA, which is at 550. So this has a decent daily setup. Strong push. Strong push this day. Compared to other days. And on decent volume, it had broken out of or closed around this resistance level. So there's a good chance it might back gap up over this for nice swing trade. So that's what I'm looking for. These I'm looking for the best trades, like the best daily charts are where the price or the candles are, well, there's no overhead lines above these candles. That's I would say that is the best. And if you look at like leads, if you look at leads right here, um, it had when it was over these lines, I mean this thing had room. And now once they're over it, now they're considered basically support or a guideline now. So it was just consolidating and riding this 10 EMA daily the entire time. And once it's over it, it has massive potential. And now these lines down here are used or acts as a support, or as this day it bounced. So you want to make sure that a good daily chart consists of little resistance above. There's no resistance, so very little resistance. And you know has a good pattern that would add to the nice daily chart recipe, right? So in this case, leads right here, it was kind of consolidating a couple weeks right here, and it was just getting tight. It was getting tight right here. And this is what led to this big move. So I hope that answers your question. Um, if you look at like other plays, like maybe AHPI, I mean, look at this. There's several lines up here. I did actually play it down here, but I didn't recognize all these lines. I was just looking at the chart pattern, comparing it to previous runners. But look at all these webs you have to get through. Look at all this. So things could get really choppy down here. So you want to play stock when it's about to break above it, or when it's near or above it. So that's when it's a good setup. I want to show you a chart on NOVN daily chart, but but it's kind of messed up. I mean, I'm not sure why it looks like this, but it was opening at the 100 EMA daily, at the 100 EMA daily or just above it, and it had a small dip and then it came right back up. So yeah, I hope that helps, Chris. Um, yeah, Louis. You said you trade on margin, or because you're below. Oh, yeah, yeah. I think you can. I'm not sure about like in the past. I remember. I think you can scale in. Like you can buy like 100 shares, one there, 100 shares like a one place, and 100 shares. You know, um, you know, on dips, right? Um, and you can scale out. I think you can do that. I think so. I would call TD Ameritrade. I'm not sure what their policies are or whatever. I would definitely call them and just kind of tell them like, oh hey, can I scale in? Um, oh wow, that sucks. Hmm. Let's see. Bought some on June 18th. Verizon calls. Uh, I mean, I don't. Let's try to see VZ. Um, well, yeah, definitely. I'm not sure why you're playing Verizon. Um, it's definitely not a play that I play. Um, so I can't really give you an analysis, but I can tell you right now that it's just been going sideways. I mean, look at this. It's just going sideways. It's gonna take some time. So unless it has like some really strong volume on like really good news, towards $60, um, then maybe you can look for a multi-month swing or multi-week swing. But you know, I don't do options, so I can't really tell you anything about it. I don't have any expertise on that. But all I can tell you from my basic analysis on the daily chart, this doesn't really have much volatility. It's just going sideways. I just don't. You just won't make any money on this unless this thing has like a huge something really big, which is a very low chance. So when you want to stick to something that has really a lot of moves, not a bunch of sideways consolidation. It's just been doing this for the past. Look at this. You shouldn't be playing this. You won't make really much money. You wouldn't make much. It's just been doing going in the like literally the same price for the past few years. You shouldn't be playing this. It's not a setup that I play. So yeah, that's what I can say in the short term. Definitely, you won't. Most likely, you will not get anything much. So um you want to be playing stocks like maybe like that has a little bit more volatile, like maybe Tesla. um this thing has just been going side, really big moves here and there. um what are other names? I'm not really familiar with the many large cap names. um but you want to focus on stocks that have like more range, high ADRs. um so you don't want to be playing low ADR names. Let's see. Yeah, that did. I'm not currently using EMAs, so now that I see. Yeah, Chris, definitely. Add EMAs. They definitely do help and show you where where the stock is, opening at stuff. I use the 100, 150, 200, 10, 20, 50 EMAs. Not no, not EMAs. SMAs. Simple moving average, not EMAs. Sorry. Yeah, lower trade, just like he said, he has a low ADR, so big moves are less likely to happen. That's why I'm playing options. You can make much more. I mean, yes, options percentage wise, yes, you can make more, but I mean, with Horizon, it's. I mean, I'm pretty sure you'll be better, playing Tesla, or something that has higher ADRs. You don't want to be playing low volatility names that have been consolidating or going sideways around the same price for years. I think Verizon is more of a dividend stock than making, having, capitalized realized gains or unrealized gains for long term. I think it's more of a dividend stock, similar to AT&T. They pay high dividends or they have a high yield. Uh, no, I did not trade ORPH. I usually let those run. I play Sympathy. So similar names. I mean, in a way, I did play ORPH, but like me actually playing the actual ticker ORPH, no. But I did in a way play ORPH by playing other similar names to that. So, but yeah, guys, for those that are new, those that do options, I don't do options. I just as a beginner, for beginners, I strongly you can do whatever you want. How you play is your style. I'm not against that. But for me, from my experience, I would focus on just trading equities, learning the candles here and there, playing through volatility, reading the price action. And once you do get more experience, then focus on options. Maybe try expanding uh, your strategies. Right now I'm great at day trading, but I want to expand to swing trading more, right? With options, I just feel like it's just pure betting. I mean, yes, you could be up, yes, you could be up 1,200, in many percents, but at the end of the day, I think it's just pure gambling. I'm not sure, what, when you say you got options on, June 18th, so like, I mean, June 18th. I mean, just I don't know. I mean, you might be up 10%, but to be honest, I've seen much higher percent gains. You literally can make. You said you're up 10% already, but um, you know, we see 10% names every day on the trading equities. We just saw 1,000% runner today. I mean, well, last week on Thursday, and options up 10% is basically nothing. I mean that's great, but if you play other high ADR names, when I say ADR, meaning the higher the ADR, the higher the volatility. Lower it is, the less volatility it has. So with high ADR names, you can make hundreds and thousands of percents. But with Verizon, you're saying you're up 10%. That's in the options world, that's literally nothing. So definitely, I would switch your focus towards more high ADR names, more volatile names, instead of the sideways price action. So, and if all you're gonna play is just Verizon, I mean, uh, you know, go ahead. I'm not stopping you, but definitely, yeah, that's not any of my setups I play, so I don't have any say. But just you know, try something else. How about meds? No, I did not trade meds. Um, Yeah, that one just was going up and down. It had some big drawdowns. Came right back up. I wasn't a fan of that, so I didn't trade it. All right, so yeah, Louis, yeah, just send me a message. I'm gonna end the stream here now. I'm just wanna just This week I'm up 100, just like 180 grand. Um, and I'm starting to scale up, and it's expanding my arsenal in trading, trying different strategies. I'm great at day trading, but I want to scale it up and start swinging a little bit more. So that's my plan so far. My account is sitting at like 270,000 bucks right now, or dollars right now in my account. Usually if it's over 100K, I usually consistently take money out. But now I'm just want to grow it and just focus on really good trades. And just focus on setups I like. So that's my plan, and so far it's doing okay. It's doing okay. So I think I'm on the right path. And same for you guys. This weekend, definitely study up. Focus on what you're good at. You know, just because you're up, one day doesn't mean, oh, your trading future is going to be very positive. You know, so you want to focus on consistency first. Okay. I don't care how much you're up. This one day or whatever. I want, if you can show me that, or if you can, prove yourself that you can do that for the next 6 months, and continue to do that, then great. You have something, right? You have something. Now, when you have consistency, then you can focus on sizing up. Okay. Focus on sizing up. Okay. And once you have that down, then you can start expanding towards different strategies like swinging, doing options, or whatever you want to learn, right? It might not have to do anything with stocks. You can do real estate. Maybe you done really great at trading. Now you want to do real estate, right? So so yeah, consistency comes first. Okay, that's the first stage. Then second, sizing up, and third is expanding your expertise, your strategies, your playbook. Okay, so that's what's most important. So yeah, hope you guys learned something from this stream. And yeah, thank you for coming on, and I'll see you guys next week. All right, have a good one, guys.